first time to say all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashim Al Shai Bashim Kakudash. We have double honor to elders, prophets, and teachers, great millstone for my learning the truth, and say shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel. And I'm going to send this on this verse here, Hebrews 10:39, because you had the other bus, the heart that mentions calling the year 2026 a year of fallouts and apostasy. And you clearly see that because you got a lot of assholes that are selling out, taking advantage of their congregation, leading the people that follow them to the slaughter, and very clearly, falling out of the truth, for one reason or another, which is funny because we're literally at the end, You had Trump, if I'm not mistaken, they just bombed some ISIS niggas over there in Nigeria. So, we're going to be likely going to be hearing the ramifications of that later on Christmas to boot. But, and he claimed it's in defense of the Christians that are over there being slaughtered. But hey, we're going to, and if I'm not mistaken, he wasn't given permission to go over there and do that, because I'm not sure how the whole thing goes as far as sending fucking weapons and fucking bombs to someone else's country without them green lighting it. But I would think that you can't just do some shit like that without letting the leader of another country know that you're getting ready to do. I don't know. I've never been in the military. I'm not sure about how the whole shit goes. But you got a lot of things going on. Everything is constantly falling apart. And the whole economic situation, which is when you go into the money, it's considered to be the blood of an economy. Slocking, just had to drive through a big ass fucking puddle of water. But money is considered to be the blood of the economy, and if the money's fucked up, then the economy is going to be fucked up, or that reveals the state of the economy, of it being fucked up. And a lot of people are, I think I saw this one video. This guy mentioned how 5 million people were laid off of jobs, which a lot of those people were government workers. But also you have this whole AI thing that's putting a lot of people out of business as well, out of jobs as well. Threatening to, fucking replace humans. But all in all, we're clearly at the end of America. Not only is it the end, but it's the end. Well, it's the end of the end. Last of the last days, because the last days started with Yahweh Shai. Says Hebrews 10:39, and I say all that to try to to illustrate the picture as much as I possibly could, because all the signs are in front of us. The MOTB system is already set up. They just need a way to implement the shit. Now the just shall live by faith. Well, just shall live by faith. But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. But we are not of them who draw back unto perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul. And when you go, when you enter into the truth, for lack of better terms, you enter into something that is looking forward to the next age, to the next world. The world that you're currently living in is a dying world. People who actually are in higher levels of society will tell you that America's done. But you have a lot of Jake that now that they have maybe a little bit of a clout, maybe a bit of a reputation, they'll happily take advantage of that to charge what? Well, I think it was Genesis that was charging their people for some type of course, like $1,200 or some shit like that. You know, now that they have the ability to do so, they built up an audience. They're going to monetize that audience, and the vehicle they're going to use to do that is the truth, which we all know. You know, buy the truth and sell it not. You know, scriptures talk about how you're going to have niggas that are going to be in the truth for filthy lucre's sake, for money. You have niggas that are going to be selling out. But if you want to get technical thinking about it, what's the point of selling out or falling out now? And you know, you got people fall for one reason or another, but things are increasingly becoming difficult. Everybody's becoming fucking stretched. You know, and I'm gonna get this really quickly. Hebrews 10:39. But we're not of them who draw back unto perdition, which is destruction. You're going back to a dying world. You're going back to death when you fall out of the truth or when you sell out. But of them that believe to the saving of the soul. And something here I want to point out, because this is actually very important to understand, because you know, you got a lot of people that may come into the truth and they'll say that, hey, you know, this is difficult, this is tough, you know, you got to leave behind family members, you know, people that you may have once known in the world. You may be going through different you know, trials, tribulation and shit. Everybody's getting fucking stretched. But that's the thing, everybody is getting pushed to the to and past the fucking limit. It doesn't matter if you're in the truth or outside of the truth. Everybody's going through fucking hell. The thing about it is that those that are in the truth are going to be catching their hell now. So when the economy fucking collapses and Jacob's trouble hit, they won't be the niggas getting fucking skinned alive by them in them damn FEMA camps, Lord will. Or at the very least, the elect aren't going to be going out like the 2/3 niggas. I'll tell you that. You know, you're going to have men and women of the 2/3 who are going to be getting raped to fucking death. Lord isn't going to have some shit like that happen to one of the members of the elect. You know, going out like that, going out dirty like that, that's, you had to have been a wicked nigga or a wicked bitch to go out getting gang raped to death. To death. You know, not just, and you're not dying from exhaustion, however you pronounce that word. You're dying from injury, from internal injury, and you know what I mean. It takes. I'm not even going to get too graphic, but the 2/3 and everybody else is going to be going out fucking greasy. But the main point I guess I want to get of this video and push is the fact that everybody is going through fucking hell. Rich people with money are going through fucking hell. And think about that. The niggas who have money, who are so-called rich, they're going through fucking hell. You know, think about like the Rothschilds and whatnot. Jacob, I'm not sure how many heart transplants or organ transplants that old dusty fuck got. Now, you know, he's dead now. But those niggas, though they're in their kingdom, are going through hell on the way out. And this is only the fucking beginning. Everybody is fucking feeling it. Now, you know, the scriptures talk about how the curse is going to be put on our enemies. No fucking doubt. But everybody is fucking going through it. The thing about it is whether or not you're, you know, you've chosen the right side to suffer for. Because the vast majority of these people, they're suffering for no fucking reason. All of their work, all of their labor, you know, all of that time that they've sacrificed, you know, the people that they've left behind. Because you think, you know, you got people with money in the world, they talk a lot about having to leave behind certain people. Because certain people can't come with you. So they've sacrificed as well. But what's going to be the end of their work? And for all of you assholes who want to sell out and join yourself onto Esau, what's going to be the end of the work that you put in? Say that you're 7, 12, 18, this is going to be it. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for wide. Once again, it goes back into what is it that you're working for and working towards? Because you're drawing back into perdition, turning back to America to enjoy, I guess, the dainties of America. What is it all going to be for? And you have a lot of niggas that never really believe, because there's a scripture, I think it's in Luke or Matthew, how it said how depart from me, ye that work in, well, it's not that one. There's another one that mentioned how you should be cast in the everlasting, what was it? I think it's everlasting fire, and shall have your portion with the unbelievers. And if I remember correctly, that's going into pretty much a nigga who knew about the truth, who ultimately didn't believe, which is why he's taking part in the same punishment as those who didn't believe. And all these niggas, you know, once again, ultimately they don't believe. And all of their work is going to have been for naught. All of that suffering, all of the pain. You know, if you're going to actually be going through absolute hell, I mean, it would stand to make sense that you would want to get something out the fucking end of it. Because nobody goes through suffering just for the fuck of it. And hope for why, for they that have done wickedly have suffered straight things, and yet shall not see the wide. So once again, those that are obeying the Lord, that are going through trials and tribulations, because everybody's going through it, whether you're in the truth or whether you're outside the truth, everybody's gonna fucking go through it at one point or another. You may have a nigga that may have been up for the past 50 fucking years, just enjoying life, just living. But come Jacob trouble, or maybe even before that, the nigga may lose everything and then go headlong into Jacob trouble. But come Jacob's trouble, that nigga's he's gonna be getting his ass kicked from here to fucking Timbuktu. The nigga's gonna fucking suffer. Everybody, once again, everybody is gonna have to go through it at some fucking point. It's up. Well, I was about to say it's up to you, but it's really up to the Lord, because everything's predestinated. But you know, it's all about whether or not the work and the pain that you're putting in is actually going to yield some sort of fruit at the end of it. But I repeated myself, I don't know how many times I said that. But the hope is edified, I hope it made sense. Say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Shema, Shabbat, Shem, Dash. The Ron, so others, spots for teacher, get Mills, Circle, and Truth. Shalom to hope like Israel, and destruction of Babylon, great America.